of River Plate goes up to have a word with referee Ricardo Calabria. And of course, as much as it's a player's ambition to play in a derby game like this one, it's also an official's ambition to be given charge of a match like this. The rain teeming down in the River Plate Stadium as the first free kick is awarded to the home side. It was Da Silva who tried to get up there, and the ball looped beyond him. And now it's knocked back towards the edge of that Boca Juniors penalty area, and a little touch off the knee of Zamora. Zamora starting in the River Plate lineup. He's been substitute on many occasions. There's a close-up of Hector Enrique for you, widely tipped to be a member of the 22-strong squad that will go to Italy. And indeed, I think we're probably looking at least half a dozen players out here who will be on the plane. Argentina, of course, as the reigning world champions, will kick off in those World Cup finals in Milan on June the 8th in the very first match against the Cameroons. There's a good turn by Zamora. And a good ball too, played with the outside of the boot. And the cross is a little disappointing there from Corti over the top of the crossbar. Corti Rodríguez. So many of these players have two names that they go under, so don't be fooled by the captions. Once more, Zamora couldn't quite control it that time. Played out here to Latorre, who shows good control. And these players do just love to clip the ball with the outside of the boot. Well done by Da Silva. So a highly animated referee. And I suppose they get caught up in the fever of the occasion as much as the players do. Imperative not to make an early mistake in a derby game like this one. Boca being just on the outskirts of Buenos Aires, which is the home, of course, of River Plate. Well, this match very much in the River Plate Stadium, which is also the national stadium, and the scene of that memorable 1978 World Cup final. Batista lunges forward and is taken out of the play by Marangoni. And Batista seems to have been such a fearsome and formidable figure in Argentine football over the years. One of those who's preferred to stay at home rather than earn his money in Europe. So many of Argentina's top players applying their trade in Europe at the moment, of course. Oh, and there was a good little flick on, and Zamora trying to get onto the end of it. Just couldn't get there ahead of Navarro Montoya. It was a little bit of an aimless ball forward. And he'll get the bird for that sort of a pass back. And he'll get the bird for putting the ball out of play. Then the River Plate crowd are likely to whistle and hoot any indiscretions by any Boca Juniors players on this occasion. That's surely a free kick. For all the fact they're lying second in the table, River Plate haven't really put together the sort of form which threatens to tear everybody else away this season. They've been right up there all season, but somehow their performances have lacked a little bit of inspiration. This will be another free kick. So they're certainly getting the upper hand in those awards. And sometimes it does take an eternity for free kicks to be taken. However, this one will be delivered eventually by Serrizuela. And they've had to make a change of River Plate in the back four because Hugo de Leon is away playing for his country, Uruguay, in the Marlboro Cup in Miami, Florida. But such are the resources. That's going to be a corner. Such are the resources that River Plate have. So many players they can bring in. They can almost always replace one international with another. And they have the encouragement of a corner kick here, which is delivered and safely held by Navarro Montoya. One of the more colourful goalkeepers in South America at the moment. Well, they do seem to specialise in them. He's taken over, of course, from Hugo Gatti, El Loco as he was known in the Boca Juniors goal for so many, many years. This is Cucciufo. Great ball hit out to that far side. Tremendous pass. And not a bad looking cross either, and the goalkeeper wasn't sure, and he's going to have to catch it under some duress. It came off the head of Carlos Enrique. There's the cross, and it was a very quick move, started by Cucciufo, carried on that touchline, and the ball looping in the air, and an easy one in the end for Comizzo to handle, for the first sign of pressure from Boca. Well, you can see the conditions here are quite deplorable at the moment. Hardly conducive for good football, although players will tell you they prefer to play in heavy rain than heavy winds. At least they can judge the bounce and flight of the ball. And this will be the first free kick that Boca Juniors have been awarded. The man who'll take it will be Ponce, the number 10. A very creative player. What could he conjure up from this? Well, the run inside the area was made by Giunta, backed by Stafuza, Marangoni. Well, they're keeping it going. Nice little touch from Ponce, and he'll be onside if he can reach it. The ball held up, actually, so the rain is having an effect. Difficult to keep the ball down, of course, on the turn like that. But Latorre didn't do at all badly. And see how the ball holds up here. It might well have gone dead on another occasion, but with this rain pounding down, it held up, came back here, and Latorre, a difficult one to hit on the turn. He got the power behind it, but he just couldn't get the elevation right. Well, back passing might become rather ill-advised later in the match if the rains persist. So Stafuza, they keep pinging the ball out to that left side, and Ponce keeps the move going. So does Giunta. And now they're arrested in midfield. And Da Silva challenging back, but there were too many of them. He got in the way of his own man, Corti. And that seems to be the heaviest part of the pitch over there as Rodríguez comes sliding in. So one or two uncomfortable moments for the River Plate defence. Very unseasonal rain this in the middle of the Buenos Aires summer. Marangoni decides that defence is the best form of attack for the moment. Simón. And that wasn't a good touch. And Da Silva almost profited. And indeed, here come River Plate, snapping on the end of that loose ball. The cross, he must be offside, must Zamora. The flag went up on the far side. Oh. Well, that's not conducive to get on with the referee kicking the ball away like that. And that shot really does give you an idea of just how hard the rains are beating down here in the River Plate Stadium. It's a good job as cover over on that far side for the spectators. If not for them, they don't seem too bothered, do they? And again, you're always going to get players slipping, as Stafuza did there. Taken on by Borrelli. And he's slithering and sliding as well. It's a bit of a scramble down there at the moment. Just needs somebody, though, to break the deadlock, and almost done there. Da Silva had the chance. That was calm as you like. That was how they were almost caught in some disarray, Boca. Batista will battle for it, but the whistle sounded. Free kick to Boca Juniors, and the players are already absolutely drenched. But let's have another look here. The break made down the right, and Da Silva literally a toe poke away from putting River Plate into the lead. And the defender was very, very calm indeed, wasn't he? Graciani out on this side now, Latorre. Poor cross though, straight to a man in a white shirt. Ponce going for the return. Will be happy enough to get the throw in. So no goals as yet. Quite a lively start though, with Da Silva coming very close at the one end for River Plate, and Boca having created a chance at the other end too. And into space, he's onside. They were looking for the flag there and it wasn't forthcoming, and a really spectacular attempt. Well, that was a marvellous bicycle kick. The ball didn't quite find the net as was intended, but let's have a look now. There is Latorre's cross, and a truly spectacular effort, but just wide of the mark. It deserved better. The athleticism certainly had to be admired. And the River Plate players are still complaining to the referee that he and the linesman should have saved them the embarrassment of that moment. They wanted an offside flag, it didn't come. Marangoni and Giunta it was in the end. Stafuza. Higuaín got it well. The left back, who keeps coming forward for Boca Juniors, is Cucciufo. Is a thankless task for a referee on a day like this. It was a good run made by Graciani. While they're making progress almost rugby union style down that touchline. It was Giunta, in fact, who had that bicycle kick a few moments ago, and that really should serve as quite a warning to River Plate that they're happy to have a crack at goal from anywhere. And the cross could have bounced awkwardly, but Comizzo had seen it. But still no goals here. Plenty of rain, no goals. River Plate, of course, have the most impregnable defence in the league. Well, they'd only conceded 9 goals in their first 20 matches, quite remarkably. They'd only scored 20, in fact, but they were sufficient to take them up into second position. Nothing too much happening out there, so I can continue to tell you about that. And Boca Juniors down in 7th position, who have a match in hand, by the way. They've conceded exactly a goal a game, 19 in 19 matches, and scored 24, so that's more than River Plate. And they concede a few more. This is Batista looking for it, but it was De Silva who hooked it in the air. Pushed aside by Serrizuela. Now they do come forward in droves. That's a good ball played inside Cucciufo, and quickly flicked across there, turned aside and out of play by Marangoni, charging back as he had to do. But just look at the conditions already now. With less than 20 minutes of the game gone. Well, I don't think we're ever going to reach the stage where it could be abandoned, but it's certainly going to be a bit of a soggy mess, is the River Plate Stadium by the end of the evening. And the ball continues to hold up more and more. Sort of night when you don't want your shoelaces, your bootlaces to come undone, really. And you can hear the rain pitter-pattering onto the microphones. The crowd certainly in good voice and enjoying it so far, though there are no goals, but ball running out of players. Borrelli took up the chase. So many of these players, of course, will be looking to impress Carlos Bilardo, the Argentine national manager, with a view to Italy. Here's one of them, and here's a good chance. Giunta has to turn inside, and eventually cracked it against the leg of the defender. But Giunta was played into a great position by Graciani there. He could have had the first time shot. He deliberated, turned the ball back inside, and then when he did get his shot in, cracked against the shin of the River Plate man. The chance had gone. And Giunta, who we saw have that really athletic overhead kick a few minutes ago, has had perhaps the two best chances of the night. That's well won for Boca Juniors, but fortune favoured River Plate on that occasion. The ball went straight back into their hands, their feet, as you like, and here's Zamora. He's got one man in the middle, and he might just find him, and there's the little flick header. It was a nice cross from Zamora, actually. Da Silva was coming in on it. The little flick header couldn't find the net. And on a night like this, one relies on the action being good, and there's Da Silva flying in for the header. And even the second touch might have been good enough to carry the ball in. And they still battle for it, but won by Stafuza for Boca. That looked like a foul on Serrizuela by Rodríguez. Well, the River Plate crowd desperate to see their team score a few goals against anybody, and Boca Juniors would be the perfect opposition for that to happen. In their minds, they do have a free kick. Referee Ricardo Calabria, right on the job with that one. And the free kick taken, well, Carlos Enrique is there. Sergio Batista says, "You go away, I'll do it," and then gives him the ball short. Takes it back forward, and they do find their men just around the edge of that penalty area quite nicely, but in the end Stafuza and Cucciufo are able to bring Boca Juniors clear, and now well inside the River Plate half, and they have to find another way through, the alternative route. Rodríguez seeks it. Batista losing out in the challenge with Marangoni, but it's going to be a free kick in any event against the big central defender. He plays quite an interesting role, Batista, switching between central defence and midfield. They're happy for him to lope upfield on those strong surging runs and then cover for him. Marangoni, who spent one season in England playing for Sunderland, pumps that ball high, and it was an easy one to clear. Zamora is under pressure. And that was quite a spectacular tumble he took, and it was good enough to impress referee Calabria. River Plate's free kick, and still it's River Plate 0, Boca Juniors 0, and the onus is very much on the home side to come and attack and go looking for the goals. Well, they've had two of the most disconcerting moments of the game so far, with Giunta firing just wide and then hitting another shot against the defender. To balance that, River Plate have had a flicked header from Da Silva just off the mark. So far, one or two of the players that you'd expect to show haven't really been in evidence. People like Corti for River Plate, Marchesini of Boca Juniors, not seen much of him. It's a good contest nonetheless. Flag up on the far side. And there you have an aerial shot of the scene here in the River Plate Stadium, which tells you that it's raining mighty heavily. Ponce. And of necessity the build-up is slow, rather deliberate. Marangoni at the hub of things for Boca, and they wait for support down that left touchline, and eventually the ball is played out to Cucciufo. Little flick forward from Ponce, and that might be a very good ball in these conditions. Solid work at the back by Higuaín. Couldn't find Zamora down that touchline though, and passing is becoming more and more problematical as the evening goes on. As you saw there, and Stafuza didn't continue his run, so Graciani couldn't find him. So it remains scoreless. The one good thing to be said really is that there has been no open hostility between the sides. On occasions like this that can happen. Local rivalry almost demands it. And I suppose the first goal could be of paramount importance in this game. It would psychologically give such a lift to the team scoring it. Boca Juniors are in the possession at the moment with Simón. Now with Stafuza, and now with Rodríguez, who's not seen much of the ball down this right touchline. Wears 11 but plays on the right. Graciani, who wears 7, plays down the left. Except for this moment when he's switched wings. Well, that was a clearance that was perhaps not well advised. It's given Boca the ball back really inside the opposition half. Good little touch on and a sliding challenge, and they all look to the referee who says play on. But those are the sort of tackles in these conditions that can persuade a referee to award penalties. So here we see, well, it was a brave challenge indeed by Hector Enrique in these conditions. Still it's 0-0, and in very quickly there, Cucciufo. That's a good little turn. And the referee allowed play to continue, which was excellent refereeing, otherwise it would have been a free kick. He played the advantage real well. and the ball just flicked off the top of Stafuza's head. I nearly said the shot came raining in, but then everything's raining in on a night like this. It wasn't a bad cross at all. Stafuza just getting his head to it, but here's a great chance, and it must surely be a goal. Critical tackle there, as Borrelli looked a certain scorer. He only had to nick that ball into the open net, but Marchesini was across, and it seems that the referee and the linesman had made an earlier decision in any event. Maybe not. Well, goal kick given, so that's the closest we've come to a goal. And Marchesini served his side well. Now it's Boca's turn. Oh, and it was a little fortunate, was that ricochet. Goal kick. So plenty of incident in this derby game, if no goals. A very good spirit out there. I think perhaps the players under conditions like this haven't got time to be thinking of anything other than playing the game to the best of their ability. Marangoni now, who has got good ability, good skills, manages to get his pass in, despite the fact he was stumbling all the way. Now the break is on for River Plate with Da Silva, who's strong in these situations. The defender slips. It's given Da Silva a real opportunity here. The defender comes across and makes the tackle, and appeals at this end for a penalty now. We had them in the River Plate penalty area a few minutes ago. The answer was in the negative then, and they're in the negative now, and that is why an excellent tackle. And again, it's Marchesini, who has done tremendously well twice now and really saved Boca Juniors. So Marchesini is really pressing his claims for a World Cup place. Referee Calabria has a good hold over the tempers in this match so far. His word is with Da Silva there. I'm not quite sure why. Perhaps Da Silva said something in frustration when the penalty was not awarded to him. But I think we saw perfectly on the replay how well Marchesini did in taking the ball from his toe end. Laid back by Latorre. Batista choosing to lay that ball back via the additional boot of Higuaín all the way to Comizzo, who's hardly seen the ball, and he won't be unhappy about that. It's a good pass, and Da Silva seeking to get on the end of it, and uncomfortable defending, if calm defending, by Stafuza. Oh, and there's a good chance. The break is on here for Boca. One defender is out of it entirely. Oh, and he chose the wrong option, surely there. There was no way that Graciani could have beaten Comizzo from that distance and that angle. And he did have two men up alongside him. And I imagine they're not saying very polite things to Senor Graciani at this moment. Good to see that referee Calabria still has his sense of humour, sharing a joke with Serrizuela. Well, the bulk of the half has already been played. Still it's stalemate, and still Boca Juniors come looking for the first goal of the game. Again through Rodríguez, a long trailing boot of the defender, denied him, Serrizuela. Latorre. They really have to look for different options, both sides. Although there have been chances, not better than that one that Borrelli just couldn't convert a few moments ago, thanks to Marchesini. Looked like a push. The referee thought so too. To Silva. He was playing basketball there. There seemed to be such a hesitation. Nobody knew quite what was happening. The referee did. He's been in pretty fair control of this match. So with half-time approaching, Serrizuela whacks that free kick up towards the edge of the Boca Juniors penalty area, and they keep the move going through Higuaín. Out as far as Rodríguez, won back by Enrique. And now it's Graciani. Really is a very, very poor ball indeed, and Graciani doesn't need any of us to tell him so. Well, it's difficult to apportion the half in terms of ascendancy. Plate started quite well, then Boca Juniors came back at their throats with a couple of very good attempts, and here they are now ending the half on the attack. That was just outside the penalty area, and in any event the referee says there was no foul on Latorre, who cannot believe it, looks to the heavens and all he sees is rain. It's there for all to see. Well, there have been penalty appeals at both ends, turned down by referee Calabria. So it's still Boca Juniors who've given as good as they've got in this half, without question. Trying through Latorre, but 0-0 it is. And the only winner at the moment is the weather. But they'll chase and they'll harry, and they'll make life very uncomfortable indeed for Enrique. And a little bit of an altercation there involving Giunta, quite unnecessary. And you got the feeling there that they were looking for a bit of bother. Zamora's got involved, needlessly so. And now the pushing and shoving game really does go on. It seems you can hardly have a match in Argentina without this sort of incident. The ball had been controlled there. There was nothing wrong with the challenge. That was just a good old-fashioned tussle. There was. And Giunta complained that he'd got an elbow in his face, I think, from Enrique, who went to say sorry if he'd done anything wrong. And now referee Calabria, for the first time in the game, has to have stern words. And yellow cards are shown to the two involved, Carlos Enrique and Giunta. The one from River, the one from Boca. A yellow card apiece, and still the jostling continues. And he again walks away from it all, a shake of the head, and says, well, I can't understand it all. So the first bookings of the game. Otherwise, the temperaments have been in good check. Good header out of defence straight to Ponce, and an inviting one to chase in these conditions. And Comizzo suddenly appearing outside his penalty area to fly kick that ball into the crowd. Good job he got there. So the closing phases of the first half here in the River Plate Stadium. as Graciani goes down under Higuaín's challenge. Quite a spectacular fall as well by the little number 7 from Boca. But it was sufficient to impress the referee. And in fact, it's a goal. Yes, it is a free kick, surely. Gordillo will have to go another 7 or 8 yards back from there before Ponce can deliver it with his left foot. Still he complains the opposition are too close. Marangoni, number 5, is holding hands. Well, I didn't know that he and Batista were so friendly. And indeed, the two captains are being called over by the referee. And I think he's saying, come on lads, it's nearly half-time, the conditions are appalling. Let's get on with the football and forget the animosity. And let Ponce take the free kick. So slightly unnerving moments coming towards the half-time whistle for the home side. There is Ponce's free kick. It was out by Batista. No one there though to carry the ball forward. And a rather wayward ball from Boca. So we're reaching the stage now where we anticipate it being scoreless at half-time. The game has not been dull. The quality of football has only suffered marginally because of the conditions. Good clearance from Enrique. And here come River Plate. Out on that far side is Zamora. Well, we've seen him get a goal or two. Not on that occasion though. And that's gone for a corner. So Boca getting themselves into a little bit of a web of trouble towards half-time. De Silva comes to take up his usual position inside the penalty area. And the ball is driven in, and Higuaín it was who came to meet it with full force. Couldn't keep the header down. The warning was there. He can certainly get on the end of these with his height, 6'2" of him, Higuaín, and he bullets the header over. And River Plate are ending the half quite strongly. Here is Da Silva and Zamora offside. It's amazing they've managed to light those firecrackers with all this dampness around. Stafuza. Stumbly ball forward though. And Batista has got them on the rampage once more. Charged off into the space, waiting for a return, and the flag ruined everything. And it's going to ruin everything here again. Well, at least they're consistent. And as we start to look at referee Calabria, that means it's close to half-time. With no goals in the River Plate Stadium between the home side and Boca Juniors. They're great rivals from across the city. Buenos Aires, of course, the home of so many famous names, Racing Club being another one. Tonight the emphasis very much on River Plate and Boca Juniors. We'll bring you the results of all the other matches being played in the Argentine First Division at the end of the programme. That's a good ball, and over on that far side it found Graciani. Marchesini plays it forward into the vacant space. And once more this referee played a good advantage there, but oh dear. Trouble down there this time. Marangoni and Borrelli picking themselves up, but Da Silva has not been able to do so. And he really was the victim there of the first flying tackle that came in. But the referee played an advantage. Well, we can see here how he took the dive over the top of the defender's boot. Cucciufo. Well, there's more sort of determination than anything else in all that, I think. But the referee saw it that way too. But it's still River Plate's free kick. Serrizuela. And the dying moments of this first half here. The flick on is towards Graciani, who will not get round Serrizuela. And safely shepherded back. Not quite sure whether Ponce is laughing or grimacing. Didn't do either very convincingly. Anyway, River Plate on the ball, and now Boca won it again. And Da Silva back in the thick of it, sent sprawling once more. He's certainly tasted this turf a time or two tonight. The referee seems to be thoroughly enjoying it all. Of a chance because there's some space for Gordillo to deliver a good cross here, and there's Zamora! 1-0 River Plate, right on half-time, and it's that man Zamora again. Well, he knows how to milk the applause, and he knows the way to the net. The firecrackers sound in salute of River Plate's lead. Fine cross delivered by Gordillo, who got some space on that right-hand side. And I'm not sure whether Zamora actually met the header as well as he wanted. It flicked off the forehead, but was too good for Navarro Montoya. The ball's in the net. Zamora's nearly in the crowd. Lovely cross, delivered there by Gordillo, and the header did the rest. So on 45 minutes we have a goal, and it's gone to the home side, as you can probably gauge from the reaction of the crowd here. And that is a bit of a sickening blow for Boca Juniors, who've not been second best by any means in the half, but it looks as though they're going to turn round a goal behind, because the strike really has come right on half-time. Zamora has scored in so many of our matches in Argentina soccer that it's not surprising it's his name that's gone on the score sheet first. If there'd been a sweepstake, his name would have come out pretty early on, I imagine, as the favourite to score the first goal. The play continues, so we're well into injury time being added on here in this first half in Buenos Aires. Ooh, the ball given away, and maybe a chance now as Graciani flings it across there, and up comes the supporting Simón, and a charge on again led by Gordillo. We'd not seen much of Gordillo, to be honest, raiding down that right touchline, but when he did do, it was to great effect. And well, the goalkeeper must pot this one out. Ooh, he's carrying it on. Well, oh, this is brave. Oh, is it brave or is it mad? He's going to have to get back now. Loses a shin pad on the way. Well, that was rather reckless goalkeeping, if anything. See what he was going to gain by doing that. It wasn't as though it was the last minute of the match. Play goes on and on. Zamora this time can't hang on though, but Batista wins it back. a smile beneath that rugged exterior. Still we play on with Corti. Hardly seen him. Another cross towards Da Silva. And they come away once more. Well, all I can think of is that referee Calabria is enjoying himself, otherwise we'd have had that half-time whistle. The stoppages really have only been for a couple of tickings off. One injury to Da Silva I can remember, not much else. But Boca still looking for an equaliser before the break. Oh, and he just stretches, and has he kept it in? Well, whether he did or not, the ball stuck in the goalkeeper's legs. Ponce managed to turn that ball back from right on the dead ball line. It's stuck in between Comizzo's legs, and so Boca still trail. It's a good header forward, and Ponce was onside, and again the rain just held things up, I think, on the turf. But a goal kick it is. And surely now River Plate are going to go to their dressing rooms, a goal to the good. And they will be the happier of the two sides, as again we have another look at Senor Calabria. Still the play goes on, and there he races the whistle to the lips, points to the dressing room. It's half-time here then, in the River Plate Stadium. There's the scoreline for you. Not much to separate the sides. That one goal scored by Zamora in the dying seconds of the half. So we look forward to having your company in that second half. It's River Plate 1, Boca Juniors. Welcome back to the River Plate Stadium. The teeming rains of Argentina coming down, but I hope not spoiling your enjoyment of this confrontation between two of the top sides here in Buenos Aires, River Plate and Boca Juniors, and it's River Plate who have the upper hand thanks to that very, very late first half goal from Zamora. We made it 45 minutes on our watches when his header flew into the Boca Juniors net. So that really has opened up the game in many ways, because the away side now attacking the goal to our left really do have to come out and attack the opposition, as they are doing straight away. And the man who got across there that time was Gordillo, the man who set up River Plate's goal. Headed on by Ponce this time, and a spirited reply straight away from Boca. The clearance going straight to Simón. Ball lifted back towards the River Plate goal, and they just can't get out of their own halves for the moment at the start of this second half. And that's a nice little ball through and touched on by Graciani, and here's a chance for an equaliser, and it's 1-1. What a start to the second half. Latorre is the scorer of the Boca Juniors equalising goal. Latorre is the name, and it's the name on the lips of all the fans here. A minute of the second half played, and it's the Boca fans who are celebrating. The ball laid forward, and it was taken on the knee almost by Graciani. He touched it through, and when it came back from that challenge there, Latorre was running in and gently slided it through. He really shredded the defence, and the ball nestles snugly in the River Plate net. So we've had two goals in 2 minutes of official time, but he really did manage to control it well, and it slithered through a posse of defenders, went through all the bodies, and it's 1-1. Latorre the man. Well, we've got a cracker of a derby match now. And it's come at the perfect time as that goal for Boca Juniors. They really needed an early response, having gone a goal behind. It's a bad psychological time just before the break. They've come back at the perfect psychological time themselves. So the onus is very much back on the home side. That was a bit of a rash tackle. from the goal scorer Zamora. And you saw Cucciufo looking up rather quizzically at the referee. The ball is left by Marchesini, who had a very impressive first half for Boca. Cucciufo none the worse for that Zamora challenge, taking the throw. Marchesini threading the ball through. The break again is on, but good intervention by Cucciufo. Marangoni. I think these players have had a change of strip during the break, and who can blame them? Oh, that's a delightful pass through the middle there, but unfortunately for Boca, the linesman was alert. It was the right type of pass to be played in the circumstances, though. Did he go a touch too soon? Yes, he did. That angle showing you perfectly that the officials were right. Good push in the back, but Borrelli continues to River Plate. The whistle had sounded in any event. Now Marangoni generally picks out colleagues with great efficiency. Did so again there, but he didn't get the right response. Here he is once more. An impressive game, the Boca captain. Indeed, he's had a very impressive season. Graciani decides he can hobble on. Graciani is more than just a good player, he's also a very good leader of this Boca Juniors side. He settles them down, keeps them going, and fair old push in the back there on Enrique by rival number 8 Giunta. Free kick taken. Higuaín. That's Batista's ball through, and a very good turn, and plays kept going forward by Da Silva, and useful cross as well, and the goalkeeper, well, was very, very calm. I think he was almost too calm. Everything seemed to stop then. Just joining us, the game here in the River Plate Stadium in Buenos Aires in Argentina. It's River Plate and Boca Juniors, and it's a goal apiece. River Plate going ahead on the stroke of half-time with a header from Zamora, and Boca coming back right on the restart. A goal in the first 60 seconds of the second half, driven in delightfully by Latorre. Really has set the match up nicely for us. It's perfectly poised. Vast crowd here. The rain, which has absolutely been pelting down in the first half, seems to have relented just a little in the second. The Blessed deserve a break. A generally well-controlled match. There was just one little flare-up, which was not as bad as it looked, I didn't feel, just before half-time, but a couple of players did get booked. Carlos Enrique of River Plate and Giunta of Boca Juniors. And he's a little too dilatory there. Well dealt with by Stafuza. Now Ponce. He's got all the South American skills. And really a 1-1 draw would be of little value to these two sides in their chase for the championship, with Independiente 2 points clear at the top. River Plate need a victory in their own stadium just to be snapping away at the heels of the league leaders. And Boca down in 7th place need rather more than a point if they're going to show in the championship race. For the moment, Boca Juniors seem to be winning more of the midfield tussles, but the break is on maybe now. Enrique to Zamora. Zamora, whose goal really opened up this game, but he won't be too happy about that little cross. But Boca have really worked hard to get back into this match. It must have been a crushing blow to them to go behind so close to the half-time whistle. They've shown their resilience in coming straight back. Simón, a very tall centre-back, strokes the ball forward. Batista it was in his advanced position who met it on the fall. But, again, Boca have shown their resilience again here in coming forward. They have to dart really at the River Plate defence and try and catch them out. Certainly Rodríguez did enough to win a corner there. I think he fancied a free kick. But a corner it will be, and Ponce will wander over to that far side eventually to take it. He's got a ball to take it with. And again, a little bit of time wasting going on, perhaps on both sides. The danger is, of course, that they might both end up rather content with a 1-1 scoreline. There it is. A very strange punch out by Comizzo. River Plate 1, Boca Juniors 1. The league leaders facing a game against the Estudiantes de La Plata, and as I told you in the first half, we will be bringing you all the results from the Argentine First Division at the end of the programme. Really, since Latorre's equaliser, neither side has had a shot on goal. Batista again stretches and does a good job in the heart of the defence for River Plate. And now they've got it away to Zamora. You always feel something might be on with this chap, but he notched it too far ahead of himself then. Two good pieces of defending. That was Stafuza. Still no great animosity between the rivals. Still just the 2 goals to show for all the efforts. As Cucciufo looks for someone. Well, that must be a free kick. Again, and Graciani. Ponce will take the ball on for Boca. Well controlled. Nice little knockback as well. A little touch inside was for Latorre. Ponce. It's Enrique it is who finally squeezes the ball away, but still not outside the River Plate half. And Marangoni decides to have a lie down. Stafuza, hammer blow forward, and it really wanted a bit too much time. You can see that pass was going to be intercepted by Zamora and didn't do enough about it. Some big clearance from Comizzo. My word, it was all the way through to Navarro Montoya at the other end, so they're playing their own game, the 2 keepers. Well, they've certainly not had many saves to make in the match. So perhaps relishing a touch of the ball. It was a very unseasonal day. Nice flick forward from Marangoni and another one from Ponce. Now it's Comizzo's turn. He gets very good distance, but Simón was in the way for that one. Stafuza. Now the break is on down that right touchline. It fell kindly, but that one looks a little bit too long. Although he's coming up now is Marchesini. And when it was laid back, it was not quite into the have taken a little bit of a stranglehold in this half. They're trying to increase that hold now. Oh, that's a nice little touch. Perhaps over-elaborate. Ponce takes it on, and Boca, some good moments that they're savouring here, just outside the River Plate penalty area. And they needed all the calmness and experience of Serrizuela to get that ball away. Here come Boca again. They're really raising the temperature of the game at the moment. And you can tell it's a derby match, the way that they are grasping the nettle here. Boca have obviously set their hearts on a victory in the old Foe Stadium. Whether they can achieve that remains to be seen. Certainly, having got back on level terms, they are a good deal happier. No free kick. Enrique gives some respite to his side, plays a great ball forward. What a chance there is here. He's still onside. Oh, and the chance is wasted. Borrelli gets the bird from the crowd, and I don't think even he could believe it, and he gets a consolation kiss from Montoya. Things happening out there at the moment. But when Enrique played the ball with the outside of the foot, he made the perfect break. The run on the blind side, behind the defence, he was onside. I don't think he could believe it. It took an eternity to strike the shot. The defender did well not to handle. Well, what a let-off that was. And yet, Boca had enjoyed all the pressure in the previous 5 or even 10 minutes. Suddenly, the break was on. He really snaked in there, did Borrelli. And he's actually wasted the 2 best chances of the game. He had a very good one in the first half as well, which he didn't seem to believe in. Otherwise, the game might have been won and lost already. Still, it might well have lifted River Plate a little bit. No, they can find a way through. And here's Enrique, the man who did it. A shot on target for Montoya to handle. A rather hopeful effort from Corti, though. Enrique has had an increasing influence in this second half, certainly in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Little turn by Borrelli. Can he yet get the cross in? Well, it's taking a long time, almost as long as he took to deliver that shot a few moments ago. And to no greater effect in the end. It's interesting that both coaches have decided to leave well alone for the moment. They haven't had the appearance of any substitutes, either on the field or even in warm-up situations. Here now is Gordillo, the throw. Progress continues to be rather slow down this touchline. So long as they're in the possession, they won't mind that, and this now looks as though it might well be a corner. Well, Da Silva in the end did manage to get a shot in. The ball had surely gone behind. And in fact, 3 points for a goal kick. He was well positioned. Let's have a look at this one. It's interesting. I thought it might have been a corner, but no, that's where the ball came off. For the throw. There the throw was taken. Nodded up in the air by the Boca Juniors player. Yes, I thought so. That to me should have been a corner kick. You can see in evening has fined it. The players will be thankful for that. Still a bit boggy in the middle. Still high commitment here from these two sides. Locked at 1-1. For any of you who've just joined us, River Plate took the lead in the last minute of the first half with a close-range header from Zamora after Gordillo would make a good break down the right. And Boca Juniors came straight back at them at the beginning of the second half. Within a minute of the restart, Latorre had driven an equaliser. So it remains at 1-1. We're midway through the second half. And they dallied a little, as a result of which Enrique almost worked that ball through. And well, Simon's run rudely interrupted from behind. And you can't do that without conceding free kicks. Great tenacity on behalf of the players. Just the 2 goals to show, but it could have been, well, I suppose, around about 3-3 if all the chances had been taken. That's a dangerous ploy. Serrizuela managed to carry it off. It's been a strange half in many ways. Boca really came out determined. He got their goal, and for the next 10 minutes they pounded away at the River Plate goal. And then in the last 10 minutes it's been all River Plate. Perhaps it's going to swing the other way again now. Ponce lays the ball down the line, but the defender who came across and spotted it was Gordillo. It's brought back immediately though, and certainly the game is having these little phases where one side gets on top. Oh, beautifully done. Not a moment that Batista will have enjoyed, but it won't have ruffled him. That ball looks too short for Silva. Serrizuela hooks it forward, straight into the chest of Simón. And in general, the Boca Juniors centre-backs, Simón and Stafuza, have controlled things admirably. Silva has just had one break in the first half, which he wasn't able to profit from. And in midfield too, they've done extremely well. The likes of Corti on the River Plate side have been hardly seen in this match. Ooh, weak header up in the air. But again, Enrique can do nothing about it to take advantage, and Marangoni now loses out. Well, he didn't actually, because he picked it up again once it came back to him from Batista. Serrizuela. Enrique. Have to do better than that if that scoreline is to be changed at all. And there is perhaps a feeling growing here that the two sides might well settle for a draw now. Barring, of course, some little slip which lets the other side in. Take advantage if they can, but the prime consideration now might not be to concede defeat. Both sides have tasted a little bit of joy in the match. And Enrique is the one picked out for this little lecture from Senor Calabria. It always takes about 5 players to listen in. Still, Enrique has a lot to say for himself. wording surely must be calmed down. And that yellow card is produced. So Hector Enrique joins Carlos Enrique of River Plate to be booked, along with Giunta from Boca Juniors. The treatment still being administered. Difficult to see amongst that mass of bodies who is down there. Could even be Marangoni. But the message was clear. Any more indiscretions like that and it could well be a red card. For now the yellow one will do. And here's what happened. He did dive in a little bit, didn't he? Marangoni can take the free kick for Boca Juniors, who've just shown signs of getting a little bit on top perhaps in the last 5 or 6 minutes. But River Plate present very stern opposition in front of their own fans in their own intimidating stadium, but still here come Boca. Shots on target, whistle's gone. Mistake which could win and lose this match, nothing more than that. The preoccupation obviously is with not giving anything away, no stupidity out there. Don't be the one to make the mistake, hold on to what you've got, in other words, is the message. Oh, and as I said that, Serrizuela did make a mistake, but the others cover up for him, and in any event it wouldn't have counted. Seem to be drifting inexorably towards a draw. Unless somebody can unhinge the defence with just a touch of brilliance. Well, Zamora has the chance now. He's got into a good position. And the header was from Cucciufo. It went to his own keeper. That was fortunate. Ponce rode that tackle well. And he's played a lovely ball forward too, but it'll be just too long. Higuaín gets it back, and the ball is returned to him. Now Batista. Serrizuela. Must be very difficult in the morass there in the centre circle. Borrelli has taken a couple of tumbles. His reputation also took a couple of knocks when he spurned the 2 best chances of the game, one in each half. He seemed a certain scorer in the first half, and there was an empty net in front of him 5 yards out, and then miraculously Marchesini appeared from nowhere to take the ball off his toe end. Then in the second half he seemed to have oodles of time in which to drive the ball past Navarro Montoya, but when he did get the shot in, it flew wide. So it's not been Borrelli's night. Free kick. Well, it was a nice little attempt to find somebody on the edge of that area, and he's offside now. So the set pieces are not working out for River Plate. And should this match be a draw, and should Independiente win their game, of course, the position at the top would go further in favour of Independiente. They can extend their lead from 2 to 3 points. Let's not prejudge. Anything can still happen here. There's sufficient time for that. Cucciufo, lovely little touch. He's had a strong game. Oh dear. trying to erase the memory of those two misses of his, one way or another. Out on that far side is Graciani, who's not seen much of the ball in this second half. Might see it now. There he is. A bit overzealous perhaps, and Corti. Batista. Silva playing the ball straight back to Ponce. It's a better one from Batista. And Gordillo, who set up Zamora's goal, tries to set things up again now. And Da Silva has gone too far ahead of that back line. And they really are being stifled up front. They can't just time the passes right. And he was a good 5 yards offside, Da Silva. Number two to the other. This is Simón. It's not often you see him this far upfield, but he's a chance to put the ball through now. Or he tried to nick it off the leg of the defender to Rodríguez. Imagines in these very sapping conditions there should be a few tired players out there, which makes it all the more surprising that neither coach has yet chosen to push on one of his substitutes. A pair of fresh legs could just tip the scales at this stage. Ponce surrounded by River Plate shirts. Now's the time for a calmer nerve perhaps than that. Better advised to have found a colleague. I suppose it's always worth a dart at this stage of the match with the scores tied at 1-1. Batista gets his head to it. There are still chances here, he'll have to hustle. Well, Zamora barged off the ball by the strong Cucciufo. It really is a sterling worker for them. Tipping it forward this time. So coming out with it once more was Stafuza. Ponce laying it back for Simón. Coming forward in numbers this time. Graciani leads the charge out. Can't time his pass. Now he's going to have to get back. Well, players slithering and sliding all over the place at the moment. A bit of ducking and diving going on there. Enrique, one of the three players to have been shown the yellow card in this game. Serrizuela it will be to take the free kick eventually. But time ebbing away if there is to be a winner, but then don't forget we got a goal in the very last minute of the first half, so who's to say we won't get one in the closing stages of the second. Certainly both sides need one. Away from Cucciufo. Enrique is hustled all the way by the Simón, but only as far as Giunta. Not a good shot though. Difficult to get the strength in these conditions. It's a very, very heavy pitch. That incessant rain of the first half took its toll on the pitch as much as the players. That's a lovely little clip. And another one from Enrique out here to Zamora, but the flag is up once more. And the referee has said, no, he can't possibly have said play on. And Zamora suddenly carried on, the linesman carried on, dashing down the touchline, which gave the impression that the referee had said carry on going. That was not the case. It had to be well offside. I think he tried to old man everybody then. Looks good when it comes off. Have certainly not missed their star Uruguayan defender De Leon. They have looked very, very solid in defence. Just been breached the once by Latorre. Now some purposeful running, and he fairly lifts it out of the mud into Zamora's path. Could there be a winner? Oh no! Really, Zamora, I think he was caught in two minds as to what to do there. He wasn't sure whether to have a crack himself or whether to just lift it over the top, and now it's Navarro Montoya who has to make a decision and took it on the chest. Play continues with Graciani, now with Latorre. Not much space out there, but they're trying to find some for Marangoni. He locates his man inside the penalty area, Graciani. Nice little back heel. It's not got the strength, though, to get as far as Ponce. Well, some of the passes just aren't finding the mark now. It's hardly surprising in these conditions. It's much more difficult to weight the pass. The latter stages of the game now, the teams drifting towards what looks like being a 1-1 draw, and a point apiece, which will not really improve the prospects of winning the championship and bringing it here to Buenos Aires. Independiente out in front at the moment by 2 points from River Plate, and the chasing pack including Boca Juniors, along with Deportivo Español, Rosario Central, who we saw last week, Gimnasia and Racing. They're all in with a shout. And there's the ball forward, which was well taken by Ponce. A lovely back heel. Well, that would have been a delightful build-up. But unfortunately for Boca, there was a River Plate defender in the way. Sort of thing that comes off in training. Zamora, he's got to curl it in. No, he's got to lay it back. Enrique tries to go on the outside, and there's the cross. Useful one too. Difficult to keep one's footing in these conditions as Batista loses his. But only due to Graciani's challenge, and he's shown some gentlemanly conduct. And the first substitution is to be made with Da Silva to come off for River Plate. Well, he's had a very tiring game, and Medina Bello is the man to replace him. So I wonder, can Medina Bello, in that glittering white shirt, amongst the dirty ones, transform the match River Plate's way? Player of great potential, Medina Bello. strong and resourceful, and fancied by 1 or 2 European clubs last season. Zamora has gone too far again. They keep catching him. That trap of theirs. So little time left for Medina Bello or anyone really to turn the course of the game now. 1-1 is the scoreline, and I would say that that is probably a fair reflection. Both sides have enjoyed the upper hand in certain phases of the game, but neither side has consistently put it together sufficiently to warrant the 2 points, the maximum points. So Cucciufo. It indeed would be unfortunate perhaps for either side to lose it now. It's River Plate on the attack, and Medina Bello just couldn't get there. And it looks to me as though Boca might well bring on a substitute of their own here. They also might have a free kick for that. Graciani really sent sprawling. And so the second number 9 to leave the fray is Latorre, and Itabel is the man on for him. So he's got even less time than Medina Bello. Long enough to become a hero, maybe. Ponce's free kick. Oh, and a really awkward clearance. Ponce couldn't take it on a second time. Well played by Borrelli. And a good ball too. Here is Medina Bello. He was stumbling all the way through that. At least it's given him a chance to get his shirt dirty. Borrelli again. He looks different already, Medina Bello. He looks as though he's been out there an hour now. Ponce, one of the most articulate players on the field. Good ball to Graciani. Oh, great effort! A lovely curling effort from Graciani, and that one could have won the day. Comizzo did really well. He could have been caught unawares. Graciani obviously spotted the opportunity. He thought there was enough to aim at, and there was, and that was going in. So Comizzo, if he does nothing else in this match, has certainly earned his money with that save. Graciani, number 7 in your picture there. So close, inches away from being the hero of the hour for Boca Juniors. That would have been a really stunning blow to River Plate's championship hopes. Where's this one going? Oof, well, there's a lot of scrambling and pushing and shoving, and the complaints are from Batista. He's leading the protest to the referee, saying that they were all impeded, I think. And I think the referee is suggesting there might have been a handball in there, and if there was, it must have been from one of the Boca hands. It is. And that's what Batista was complaining about. But really, that was a marvellous try by Graciani. Just raised the temperature for a moment, but there is the scoreline again. So the draw has to be the favourite result now. But Boca are ending it in sprightly fashion, and here's a great chance, or maybe he took it too far. Before the pass was delivered to Itabel a second earlier, and I would have fancied his chances. When the pass did come, he hit it straight at Comizzo, who for the second time in a couple of minutes saves the day. They really have had 2 great opportunities in 2 minutes of Boca Juniors. They've not taken either of them, but they could have rued that moment, could River Plate. He was left unmarked, was the substitute. And he was really shooting for glory there. Out it comes again. Back in from Simón. Oh, and a dangerous header. And they really are under some pressure in these closing stages.